Hey, welcome to another episode of the Goalpost, and I'm joined by my compadres. How you gents doing?
We're good, brother. How are you?
Hey, not so good, man. Like, guys, we go like as I don't understand what's going on. We'll start off with the first topic in mind. What just happened at 4 p.m. is a joke. That's just my opinion. Like, I like I don't get how on earth we had to do a redo of the draw. Like, it's not our fault that these guys they fumbled the bag a bit there. Now we have to play Atletico Madrid, dog. Like, Modise, how do
I'll
you
go
feel?
first.
Oh, you go first.
Honestly,
I don't go
I'll go
first,
first.
dog. Go
And
first,
this
bro.
is this is the answer to your first question, Uguti. How are you guys doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
my wife is convinced Uguti, sports is going to be the death of me. From like Lewis Hamilton
You,
to
dude.
actually it went from Chelsea on Saturday to Lewis Hamilton yesterday to
Yeah.
UEFA today. But yeah, and as to what happened, yeah, I mean, I applaud FIFA. Actually, not FIFA. I applaud UEFA.
UEFA.
They acted very swiftly and promptly because they realized that they fumbled, and yeah, we are where we are right now.
Yes, guys. And so
Ah,
you
chief.
hey, Sihle, dog. This is okay. What you gonna say, Modise, dog?
Yeah, man. Sorry, man. All I can say is the first thing that came to mind when that happened, I said, yeah, at least it's not only Africa with problems. Because if that happened in Africa, everybody would have just been like, yeah, we expect this from them. Wow, 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 wow. You understand? They're those guys that mess things up, whatnot.
Yeah,
But today it's UEFA. And
yeah.
bear in mind, I was monitoring the draw because I was in some training as well and all these things. And then when I saw redraw, I was like, "Oh, these guys, what's happening? Which one is this one now?
Yeah.
Are they now? Did they initially try to get PSG to play United so it can be a Ronaldo versus Messi thing? For attention, for media, for revenue to start coming very early. Was it a publicity stunt or what? And then they realized that they have to redo the draw and make sure that we don't get PSG again. Just to make sure that they sort of balance out what they did. But for me, as sad as it was, the biggest thing was at least it's not Africa. Uh, I'll just comment on what Sihle said. I've never sworn at the TV so much like I did
Ish,
last night
ish.
when that happened to Louis Hamilton. I have never sworn so much in my life. I love United. I watch United. I get angry at United. But what happened to Lewis
Ah,
Hamilton was the biggest cheat in world sport. You
yeah.
understand? And all because of this.
I know.
That's
Real
all it
talk,
Nah,
man.
is.
You,
nah,
Modise,
Mike.
that's
I'll
the
agree. That is
nah.
all it is.
Let's hear
It,
Mike's.
I think it's the problem is people bring color when you get the other side of the stick. I mean, there's been calls where Lewis Hamilton got certain benefits from it, so it all kind of like levels itself out. So let's not necessarily bring color to it when it's now to your or to
Mike,
that
like that.
individual's detriment.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I get it. These things happen, bro. I think
Like
there
that.
were other instances. No, there were other instances in the past where I think this is why the notion Uti Mercedes is favored by the I think it's the FIA or something like
Yeah,
that.
FIA. Yeah.
Yeah, and yesterday was an incident where what the decision was that was made was to the detriment of Mercedes-Benz and Lewis Hamilton. But there have been cases in the past where it was to his benefit. So I think yes, we all would have loved Guti Lewis Hamilton to win the race, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I think he'll still be regarded as the best Formula One driver ever. You know,
Yeah.
I used to be a big Michael Schumacher fan, but I can say that I think Lewis Hamilton, if we had to compare the two, he's a better driver.
Mike, I don't
Yeah,
agree with you at all, but it's fine. Let's talk
yeah.
Champions League.
Let's
I don't
yeah,
agree with you.
yeah.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
move
I'll
on.
just make one comment, X. And Mike, why I say I
What?
don't agree with you. Not one when the world championship is at stake. Two,
Yeah,
when the
on the
guy
last
wasn't
lap.
even allowed, he wasn't even given a chance to pit. Verstappen had just changed his tire before the safety car came out. Of course, he was at an advantage. In the
Yeah.
last lap, the very last moment of the lap, you say, okay, safety car off. How, Chief? But
No, but
anyway, story
even
for another day.
Modise,
Yeah,
even the safety car, the way that it just disappeared, like literally, because the rule
yeah,
states that you have to lap the other cars. And the ask
Exactly.
from Karen, who is the Red Bull team principal, was we need one more lap, and they
yeah,
knew which they had the advantage. But anyway, yeah,
yeah, guys.
let's speak Champions League.
Yeah, like for instance, I'm sure like if you're a Real Madrid supporter, you'd be very upset with what went down. I mean, initially you got Benfica as your opponent, and now you have to verse PSG. You
Yeah,
know, like you see with United, okay, I didn't want Atletico Madrid, yeah, but
Chief.
PSG and Atletico Madrid are top tier teams. So, you know, I'm not crying that much, even though I would have preferred playing against a team like PSG because of how they are individuals and they're not necessarily a team that plays as a unit. But like Real Madrid, guys, like what do you think
no,
is
but
going
my,
on through
so
Florentino's mind
so
to
here's my
do
question:
this?
it's
Yeah.
which fans are more angry? Is it the Real
Mm.
Madrid fans or is it the Man United fans? Because I think Man United fans would have been like, yeah, we are going to have Mercy coming through and because to be honest, from last season or was it the season before, you guys actually
Mhm.
took PSG out of the Champions League.
Yeah, we
So
did.
which
We
fans are
did.
more angry? Is it is it the Madrid fans or is it the Man United fans?
Yeah.
Definitely the United fans. Sorry, X. And
Yeah.
I'll say why. Against PSG, something happens to Rashford, man. Something just happens to Rashford every time we play PSG. That yeah, I don't know what he's on those days.
Yeah.
And Atletico is a very unpredictable team, as inconsistent as they can be. They're a very strong team when they will be strong. And I think the way United is playing at the moment, even if you look at how we played against what's this green
Norwich.
team? Yeah,
Norwich.
them. Yeah, how we played against them. If we have to play Diego Simone playing like that, he's gonna eat us alive, clean. He's gonna chow us clean.
Yeah.
They've got a master tactician in Atletico Madrid. So to answer your question, probably the United fan are a lot more upset. I mean, Real Madrid is on form.
Mhm.
I don't think they are that fearful of PSG because, as you said, PSG is a team of individuals, individual stars. Everybody wants to be better than Mbappe wants to
Yes.
shine better than Messi and Neymar. Neymar also wants to be a superstar. Messi wants to be Messi. Who is Messi? I don't think Messi has to prove himself any further
Yeah.
at this point. So I think Real Madrid will win it, but this was a major upset for the United fans. I wanted Sporting Lisbon humbled.
And then you Chelsea fans will start off with you, Mike. Are you happy that you drew Lille twice?
No, it's written in
Look,
the
man,
stars, my guy.
you know what? In order to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And
Yeah.
before the draw, whether we got Bayern, whether we got Madrid, Asinanda. And I
Hey.
think one thing about Chelsea, there's something about my team when it comes to the big games, they know how to play. So Lille might be a challenging game because I think with Chelsea, the games that you expect them to win, they
Mm.
somehow always manage to drop points, and that's why we call them, or Chelsea fans call Chelsea Charity FC. You know, like we give
Yeah.
away like against big teams in fact, dude, even if we had to play Bayern, I think I would have rated our chances, especially if our squad is fully fit.
X, what did I say? What did I say to you in last week's show? I told you
Yeah.
that I want to play Bayern. I don't want to face any other team because for
In
you
the
to be
last
the
16.
best, you must beat the best.
You don't want to
Hey,
play Bayern now, man.
not
Last
now.
16.
We could beat
Yeah.
Bayern. With a fully
You
fit
can
team,
beat Bayern.
we could beat Bayern.
We could, but
We could. In fact, if we've got Ngalo, Kovacic, and then full fit, in fact, we could. As long as Lukaku stays on the bench.
I must
Hey,
just
Mike
say,
and Lukaku.
and X, I think we spoke
Yeah.
about Lukaku in the beginning, and I mentioned that Lukaku, chief, he can't trap the ball. Do you remember? I said
God.
he can't trap the
God.
ball. He can't do anything.
I'll
I
always
saw
defend
Lukaku
Lukaku.
at United. Get sharp, Lukaku.
I'll always defend Lukaku. I think it's one of those. I'm counting how many goals he has. I think
Yeah.
I'm hoping he has 20 plus goals this season. If he does, it will be a success.
But he's
Wow.
gonna be eating bench, and I think even Tuchel has figured it out with it. He doesn't suit our style of play. Leave Kai, put Mount there if you have to, and then either you play Werner, Ziyech, or Callum out wide. You know, there's no place for Lukaku in that team. No place.
This is
Yeah.
EPL, not Serie A, chief. This isn't a boxing match. This is a tactic match. Serie A is physical. That's how it suited Lukaku's game. EPL is a fast pace, pass the ball, run with the ball, beat men, take a shot.
And as well,
Lukaku can never dominate the EPL. I'm sorry. He's tried for many seasons and he's just struggled. He had a phenomenal season last season at Serie A because Italian football is very physical and Lukaku's strong. He's a big guy. He was always going to win there. It's not really passing game. This is a fast-paced passing game. And if Lille, I'm pretty sure he'll start against Lille. I'm pretty sure Tuchel will
Nah,
think this
he won't
could be
start
his.
against Leo.
I'm pretty sure they'll start him, man.
Nah, he won't.
Might.
Nah, he won't. He won't start
This guy
against Leo.
doesn't like Lukaku at all.
No,
it
the
doesn't
thing is, it's
rate
not that I don't
Lukaku.
like him, right? If Tuchel is serious about winning Champions League, you wouldn't start him, dude. He messes up with our pressing game. Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So,
Did you guys
then
pay
why did you
93
sign him
million
then?
pounds?
Okay, so then
93 million
the
pounds.
major ask is that out of the last 16,
Mm.
which 8 teams are making it through to the next round?
Can I go?
8 teams. Should I go first?
Go
Go for it.
Go X.
All right, fine. Man City, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Ajax, Manchester United, Juventus. Liverpool, and I see Real Madrid making it through, bro. Real Madrid are gonna rinse PSG, dog. Did you see them
Okay, well,
yesterday, gents?
Modise, who the last 8?
Yeah.
Bayern, City,
Mm.
Ajax. This one is going to be an upset. I'm going to go for Lille.
Aye.
United, Juventus, Liverpool without a doubt. Madrid is going to mince PSG.
They're gonna mince PSG, dog. PSG are not gonna Bazo Sola why they
Modise-
actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
you play. Mike, hit me.
Bayern Munich, Man City,
Yeah.
Ajax, Chelsea,
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid, Villarreal, Liverpool, and Real Madrid.
Villarreal.
Ah, dude.
They
Villarreal is a good
they-
team, dude.
Yeah, they are. They are a good team.
Villarreal is a good team. They are the Europa League champions, and I
Mike
like.
had to bring that shit up.
Chief, this is not Europa League. This is the Champions League, Chief.
Okusalayo balidlile, Joe.
Yeah, okay.
But we
Like,
beat them twice now again.
Yeah.
Make sure we come back and we're the group.
Yeah, you
winners.
beat them when it didn't matter, bitch. They beat you when there was a trophy on the line.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and we're gonna
When it
beat-
mattered.
We're gonna beat
When it
we're
matters.
gonna beat Atletico Madrid because it matters.
Yeah,
Nah,
Mike,
the thing
you
is,
haven't given us the last
Atletico
round.
Madrid, you guys are a counter-attacking team, dude. Atletico Madrid is a defensive team. How, how are you guys gonna break them down?
Watch.
You had a
Yeah,
better
but
chance against PSG as opposed to even squeezing those. You had a better chance against PSG as opposed to Atletico Madrid.
yeah,
Atletico
that's
Madrid are
why
gonna
it's
fuck the
called them.
fast.
They play negative
yeah.
football. It's not negative. It's their style of play, and it suits them.
They play like Burnley, dog. It's a Burnley team that went to private school because they've got attackers that can actually finish, but they just play
Exactly.
negative football. And you are right, Mike. I did tell you during the course of the day that I'd prefer PSG over Atletico Madrid only because with Atletico Madrid they play as a unit. Teams that play as a unit, for me, I just don't like. I just don't like playing against those teams. It's like even with you guys, Chelsea. You guys are okay. In recent weeks, at the back. I
Yeah,
don't know what the
we're
fuck is
conceding
going on.
quite. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
conceding, even though we are scoring the opponent, but we are
yeah.
conceding. Mike, you
But
didn't
I
tell us
know.
between
Sorry,
Madrid and PSG.
I know,
I
dude. That's gonna be if Madrid, bro.
yeah, Madrid, dude.
Madrid is gonna mince them. 4-0
Have you seen
aggregate.
Have you seen Vinicius, guys? Have you guys
You,
seen
you,
Vinicius
you, you,
nowadays,
you.
dude? This dude he's turned into a Super Saiyan, dog. He's turned into a Super Saiyan all of a sudden, bruh. Two assists, bruh, and both, especially for the first goal, bruh.
The
Hey,
first goal was
Benzema, dog.
beautiful.
And that was
I Benzema
beautiful.
Yeah.
the star. Benzema the
Hey,
star.
and we have a friend who
So,
doesn't rate Benzema.
Oh,
Remember?
oh.
Yeah,
I'll go. My
yeah,
last eight would be Bayern,
yeah.
uh, Sporting, Ajax,
Ah!
yeah,
You don't rate
uh,
Pep.
yes,
Chelsea,
yeah.
Atletico. Hey, I wanna this Juve game. Hey, this Juve game has me very concerned. I think Villarreal,
Yeah,
Inter,
yeah.
and PSG.
Chief, you don't rate the English football teams except Chelsea.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why they
Hey.
were
Chief,
underneath me.
Chief.
That's why they were
So
Ah,
there's
underneath
no
me.
Champions League football for Manchester, any of the Manchester teams, and Jurgen
yo,
Klopp will be beat by Alex Sanchez. Who's there by Inter?
Now, because I'm thinking about it. I want
yes.
Liverpool. I want the Liverpool and Inter game. It's going to be an interesting one because they're going to be coming on the back of the AFCON tournament, and
Yeah.
Liverpool will either be struggling to catch up with the top two teams, which are going to be Chelsea and Man City,
Mm.
and from missing Mane,
And
Salah,
Salah,
Salah, Matip,
and
Matip,
yes.
Matip,
and
So I
Keita.
honestly think
Keita. Yeah.
Liverpool New Year are going to be struggling.
Damn.
I
Damn.
disagree,
And
man.
then
I think, uh, uh, yeah, go, Mike.
Yo, Mike, did you want to say
I didn't
something?
say anything, guys.
All right. Go,
Oh,
Modise.
yeah,
Man
no, I
United,
disagree. I think Liverpool
whenever
has
Man
it.
United play Atletico, Diego Simon knows how to beat Man United. And you
And
can change managers all you want. The players are the same, which means the style of play will be dictated by the players that you have.
hey,
Um
can I
the
just challenge you, City? Can I just challenge
yeah,
you a bit there, man? I'll speak about the Man United and the Atletico game just now, but on Liverpool, I think Liverpool has enough depth. I mean, they're going to lose Keita, who's midfield. He doesn't really start all their games, so in any case, they're going to be okay there. They're going to lose the two best wingers, which is Salah and Mane. Salah is going to be the
yeah.
biggest gap, I would say, and yes, Mane is he's key and pivotal for them, but it's time they
Who's
start
replacing
working on the combination.
what
It's
who are
time.
the two
It's
players
time.
replacing those two?
No, no, hold on. It's time they start working on the combination between Jota and Firmino because those are going to be the two front playing attacking strikers. I don't think they're going to keep playing their 4-3-3 or whatever the case is. They're going to have to play with two up front. Be it potentially it's going to be Jota and Firmino
Yeah.
playing for Liverpool up front. And, Jota's on form. Jota's a brilliant, brilliant baller. Firmino's got his days. And I don't think in any case, when the guys come back from AFCON, you have time to bench Salah. You'll just bring Salah back, and then maybe you'll start with Salah, Firmino, and Jota, and then you'll bring on Mane second half or the second leg even. You can potentially play the front three that you're used to playing. I don't think Inter has a chance against Liverpool. Touching on United versus Atletico, it is a tough game, and I'll admit it, right? I'm nervous because I know what Atletico can do. But at the same time, if you watch some of the Atletico Champions League games, they fumbled. Was it against Liverpool where, what's his name? Griezmann was on the verge of rescuing them, and then they fumbled in the end.
Yeah,
You know,
but man, it's a red card that won Liverpool that game.
If they fumble,
The same Liverpool
like
that trapped you guys, was it 3-0? Or was it 4-0?
No, 5-0. I'll take it.
5-0. It's the same Liverpool that trapped you guys at home.
As Mike thinks he's
okay.
No, it's the same. And if you watch the game
there's
properly, no, you can't say they fumbled, dude. They got a red card. Liverpool got lucky. Liverpool won because of that red card. Otherwise, in fact, they were in trouble. And I think in both games, Atletico got red cards against Liverpool. The same Liverpool that trapped you guys, though.
Yeah,
there's no therefore in football, Chief. There's no therefore in football. This is football.
No, you can't say what you therefore. In fact, they played better with 10 men against Liverpool than you guys did with 11.
Thank you.
Oh my dog, we had Ole at the wheel, dog.
Come on. We didn't have a tech team.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys are making it all about Ole. Ole took you where you guys could peak at. So don't count on Ole as the manager.
It's Ole. Dude, you guys are where you are because of Tuchel. That's the only difference between your squad. Tuchel came in and won you guys the Champions League. Managers make a team. Same thing with Liverpool. I tell you guys, these guys look dope because of Klopp's makeup.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Your red guy right now has got 2 months to prepare for Atletico. And you don't trust him right now because
I trust
him.
No, I trust him. No, I trust Ralph.
Yeah.
I just think Atletico and the dynamics of Atletico. Chief is a good team. You can never write them off. It's like Germany when they go to a World Cup.
Yeah.
Like even if they have a bad build-up, you can never write Germany off in a World Cup. And it's the same with Atletico, right? Because they could potentially go all the way. They could. Yeah. Atletico is one of those surprising teams that could go. I mean, Ajax made it to the semi-final a couple of years ago and they beat Juve. This is football, Chief. There's no therefore, hey, you fumble. Hey, therefore, there's Ronaldo, Chief, who
there's no therefore. No.
Ronaldo.
No, you need to understand. You guys' type of football.
Wait.
It doesn't suit your style when you guys play against defensive teams. You guys have been struggling the whole season against teams that pack the bus.
No, Chief.
The only time you guys look good is when you play against teams that are attacking.
Yeah, against an expensive
single-handedly knocked out Atletico Madrid before, scoring a hat-trick. One man alone. They know they're gonna prepare for that guy because they
was McTominay in midfield.
Wait, can I jump in? Can I jump in? When I'm
Hey, Betty, I saw young Billy. In fact, young Billy was busy dominating you guys this weekend. This past weekend, you don't have to even go far, man. This past weekend, Billy was busy dominating you, bitch.
Leave Scotty alone.
Yeah.
Don't talk about
Can I say something, guys?
If you have to be honest, I think Man United is a side. You don't have a midfield.
Yeah, you are right. But you know what's nice, Sihle, is that there's the January transfer that takes place.
What are you gonna do, Jack?
Atletico.
What are you
gonna buy? We're gonna buy.
Who are you gonna buy?
We're gonna buy Haidara. We're gonna buy for Phillips. Dog, there's options, bro. Like
Phillips
he's
is injured, bitch.
Well,
we'll take him to Dubai.
Will let go of Phillips, who's the best midfield right now, to Man United? Because if you're honest, Leeds is what position in the league?
They are like at the bottom half of the log. We're not.
But they're fighting in the bottom, and they're gonna let go of probably one of their best midfield.
Well, there's other options, Sihle. Okay, there's a shitload of players out there, dog, that we can sign from. And what's nice about Ralph is that from a scouting standpoint, he's a person who's able to find hidden gems, So for me, I know our midfield is going to be sorted out. Even in the press conference, he answered the press and said our weakness is our midfield. He's very much aware where our weakness lies at this particular moment. And I know he'll have a plan to fix that. So you see, right now, we're pretty much playing a guessing game. We don't know what will happen in the next 2 months, dog. Shoot, people could get injured, from Atletico Madrid. You could find that key players like your Correas of this world, Griezmann, it could happen. So,
Hey, you're
like
hoping.
for
You
me,
are hoping right now.
now, I'm not hoping. But I'm just saying that we don't know what's gonna pan out. I mean, even with tomorrow's game, COVID has hit Man United right now. I mean, will that game even take place? So, for me personally, I just say for the mere fact that there's the January transfer window, that's just to answer your guys' question about our midfield. Our midfield is gonna be fine, Mike.
I will see. But
Sizovuka mfana, Mike, and you know ukuthi sizovuka, dog.
guys are party.
Zovuma
Yeah,
lamba.
you guys were also pop last season before Tuchel.
Guys are a party.
Exactly.
Yeah, before
Exactly.
No,
Tuchel.
You came back
Yeah,
and won the Champions League. You guys forget where you come
exactly.
from.
And as well,
Eh?
yes, and they forget Chelsea fans forget that now, but they were in tatters before. They
Ah,
had Lampard, who was like, I don't see the squad winning anything, and then they replaced him with
oh,
someone who was like, nah, this squad is
no,
ready to
no,
win
no, no.
something. Yeah.
With Frank, the issue with Frank is that he struggled. He struggled with older players. And when introducing new players into the system, he's brilliant at that. But the older players, he honestly struggled getting them to perform. That was the issue.
Wow.
no.
And then
Lampard
And
wasn't ready for the
Tuchel came
Chelsea
in.
job,
Hold
chief.
on,
yeah.
hold on. Tuchel came in. Tuchel came in, and he's more of a hybrid manager where he understands the experienced players and also the new players that are coming in, which I feel in Jan he's gonna call that Gallagher boy to come back.
Oh,
Nah, they
Without a
must leave
doubt.
Gallagher. No, Gallagher takes up. He plays like Mount type of. He's a Mount type of player, but
Yeah, but March
they
is
must
not your
just go
favorite
get
player
Billy
then.
back in it. We made a mistake giving Billy to Norwich. But he's better than Sal. He's even better than Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben
I'd
holds on to
agree
that
with you
ball
on the first
way too
statement, which
long.
is better than Sal. Not with Loftus. Loftus is more experienced. I think Loftus has got more to lose,
Nah,
and
dude, Loftus doesn't release the ball on time, dude. Sometimes you look like release him, dude.
Chief, who do you rate,
Release,
Mike?
bro.
I rate
He
Ruben.
daddles on the ball too long. But sometimes it's like,
No,
Fetch,
Mike.
yes, we understand you went past one guy, but release.
Mike, but
pass.
I rate Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I don't know why. Who do you rate?
hey, but if you had to
Let's
go pound for pound between Loftus
Billy
um
Gilmore.
and Billy Boy, it's gonna be a tricky one
Yeah,
because I
I
think
know, dude.
uh Billy's breakout game was the game against Liverpool, where he literally ran Liverpool racket. And this is like what 3 seasons back. And Loftus right now is on the up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I agree with you with Billy. Billy plays as the holding mid for Scotland, while Modise's favorite United midfielder, Scott McTominay, plays as centre
Is in
back.
the bench.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Don't bench Scotty. Leave Scotty.
But
Ah,
Billy is like a Shaggy type of player, and he
yeah.
understands the game. He's
Brains.
he.
Thank you, Mike. And
He's
I
he.
agree with you there, bro. Like I also rate Billy. I think Billy would walk into our squad for Scott McTominay the way he for Scotland how things are. Like that would pretty much be the case. But for me,
They just need to go give him juice a bit.
yeah. But
So he can just
for
bulk up with them.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
don't bulk him up. You see, this is what you guys did to Torres. You bulked the nigga up, and look what happened. Relax,
He
son.
fumbled.
This ain't rugby,
He
my G.
fumbled.
You're not trying to build an inside center here, dog. This ain't rugby.
No, but that's the problem. That's why like the likes of Tuchel never like started him as often is because they felt that he's too scrawny. But like I said, I think He's a
Yeah.
Chavi type of player. He's so fit. He's easy. 1-2.
Yeah. Yeah, but like a Xavi bulked was Xavi like the buffest player on the field? He
Never,
Nah, he
wasn't.
never.
wasn't. I mean,
But yeah,
ESN
Yabona
was
Mike,
skinny.
honestly,
Yeah.
Yabona Billy Boy, the one thing I like about him is that he has a tendency of trapping the ball and passing it, trapping the
Yeah.
ball and passing it. And he keeps it going, he keeps it
Mm.
rotating. And you could count the amount of times that he has like 2 touches and that's it. And that's the type of
Yeah.
player that we actually need. Because what's his name? Jorginho. That's the type of player that he is.
Yeah. He is a given goal.
Yeah, but then, like I said, you play Jorginho next to Billy. Problem with Ruben Loftus-Cheek is that he holds on the ball way too long.
He pulls a Pogba dog, pretty much.
Yeah. No, this
Now,
Pogba's got a pass.
Pogba,
Pogba can shy
yeah,
at
but
through balls.
Pogba,
Loftus, in fact, the only thing he's good at is running at players. In fact. In terms
Yeah.
of passing, he needs to work on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Pogba's coming back, and then McFred will change. Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't worry,
right,
guys.
right.
Let's move on to the next topic because we'll spend more than 2 hours discussing this. But guys, for me, like, hey, yo, man, ah, this for me, guys, like,
This is
I
what
had to
football
include
needs.
this. Yeah,
I'm hoping Isafa is watching this.
Exactly.
dude.
This is what
Yeah,
football needs. I don't understand why someone like Lucas Radebe is not the president of SAFA. I don't understand why we don't have people of that caliber who, right now, if Lucas had to go to Leeds, he's yes, sir, the moment he gets out of a car, everybody knows him. I mean, why can't we have a leader like that who's played football at the highest level as the president of SAFA instead of having Danny Jordan?
For the how manyth time, Benny? And here's been Modise. We actually had this conversation honestly a month ago,
yeah,
where we said from our side, SAFA is failing us with all these political appointments. We need someone who understands that if you go Africa, whether it is Northern Africa or wherever in Africa, this is what you're going to deal with.
yeah.
But
And
overall,
no.
man, in the sports fraternity, why is our Minister of Sport not a former world champion in swimming, maybe? And I'll just call out like a Roland Schumann. You know, someone who's played sports at the highest level, who's won a whole lot of stuff, who understands what sports needs to improve. Tendai Mtawarira, who's currently pushing books, CEO here, this, that, the other. Why don't we have those people running our sports? This is phenomenal for Cameroon. And watch, Cameroon will win an AFCON or something of that sort because they have somebody who understands the game of football.
yeah.
Yep.
And then, quick question, guys. I want to ask every one of you, starting with you, Mike. Who would you like in like a in a hypothetical setting? Like, who would you prefer to be the president of SAFA?
Benny
Khadib.
McCarthy.
You, Benny McCarthy, my G.
Benny yakwata, yo.
Benny will be kicking
if they
ninjas.
lose,
Nah,
they're
but
all
you know what?
fired.
Out of all of them, man, Benny is he's got a Champions League
Benny
trophy.
doesn't fuck around.
Yeah,
He's got a medal.
Benny
But remember when he first even started with the city of Cape Town, they were doing well.
yeah. They even
He
won a
brought them into the
trophy.
PSL. I mean, the guy has played under the likes of Jose Mourinho and all the other best coaches in the world.
Yeah, and that's true, bro. And you know, speaking of Benny McCarthy, I was watching an interview of Tico Modise and Mac G, right?
Yeah,
And Mac
yeah.
G and Tico Modise mentioned that South Africa, he felt like would have done better in the 2010 World Cup if Benny McCarthy was selected, only because of his leadership and he's got such high expectations for not only himself but for the rest of the team to perform, you know. And he was a leader. The change room was well run when Benny was there, you know. So like I do get where you're coming from, Mike. He is a person who has standards, high standards, of course, because he has been at that level. I mean, he scored a brace against United. He's even scored at Old Trafford on numerous occasions. Like this guy is pretty much, you know, that elite, you know. And so, like, I do agree with you on that. When Modise, who would you ideally
Bra
want?
Lucas. Bra
Lucas.
Lucas, without a
Yeah.
doubt. Bra Lucas or even a Jimmy Tao, one of the two. Guys who have strong leadership capabilities, who can manage and can handle the high level pressure. I believe that, or another person that I would actually even throw in there is maybe a Neil Tovey, but he struggled as technical director. So, that's a bit of. But for me, my first choice would definitely be Ulukas. I would have Benny,
Yeah.
honestly, as the national team coach. And I watched the same interview, and you hear how they all looked up to him and how they all listened to what Benny wanted because they knew Benny's there for the win.
Yeah.
And he even said, Deco, in that interview that he probably would have played better himself if
Yeah.
Benny was on the field because it's Benny.
Yeah.
Benny's there. Now he knows that we're here to win. The mentality is there. So I like Benny as a coach. He's bringing that hungriness into young footballers to win. He's upset because they're drawing so many games. But he's hungry for the win. He's a hungry guy. So I'd rather have him as a coach, having played at the highest level. You mentioned about how he scored a brace against United. There's an interview, I think I heard it on YouTube, yeah, Benny McCarthy, where he said he was the second top goal scorer behind Drogba, ahead of Ronaldo the 1 year. And he
Okay.
said that he was the second goal scorer while Drogba was playing with Abu Balak, Abu Badbad. He had Aaron Mokwena. So it just shows you what a star he is.
Whoa.
It shows you what type of person Benny is. Guys, I rate Benny very highly. I respect the guy. He told the super sport coach that he's broke, but that's a story for another day. But
Yeah.
my first option definitely to lead Safa would be Ulukas Khatel.
Would be Lucas Khatel. You know, I was speaking to Mike over the weekend, and I asked, okay, he asked me the exact same question that I asked you guys. You know, for me personally, um, I know this person has never played like for Bafana Bafana in any way, but his knowledge of how things are done in the back room is quite elite. You know, for me, I'd like raise my hand for Robert Marawa personally.
Maybe Minister of Sport, though.
Yeah.
Much
Maybe
okay.
Minister of
That
Sport.
that as well. That would also be dope. That upon but like Oprah Rob, like when you listen to his show and you look at the different, especially each and every day, bro. Like this man actually knows what the hell is going on within SA, what SA needs. He's all about solutions constantly. He's always speaking about solutions, you know, and he holds people to account, people who are in power, like you know, that's why a lot of chairmans, you know, that show on Thursday, Modise, where the
Yes.
chairmans pull through.
Chairman's chair.
Chairman's chair, hey, puts these guys under immense pressure, bro, and he asks them like serious questions, bro, because he actually understands the fundamentals of how to run like anything, you know, as far as sports is concerned. And so for me, that's a person who I mentioned to my, you know, Woodsy, hey, like for me, I wouldn't mind Rob, you know,
So
yeah,
as a slight back, because I was disconnected there for a second, my machine
yeah.
decided to install updates. I
Mm.
think Urob is more than just football.
Yeah,
He's more than just the football fraternity. So I'd agree with Modise in saying that probably have him as the minister of sport because
yeah,
he's got an understanding in rugby, and I think one of the
Exactly.
racism story that broke out in CSA, he was in
yeah,
the forefront of that story. So he's got an understanding of sport as a whole in South Africa. So don't limit him to say, hey, only speak
Football.
to football. Have him literally speaking on all the different sporting fraternities that we have in the country. But yeah, I don't know if you guys got what I said from my side. I think Uru is ready to take over. He's got that calmness about him.
Mm,
At some
yeah,
point, I was expecting him to be a coach or a manager, and I realized he's actually more than just a coach and a manager. He's more of an administrative person where
yeah,
he's got that aura around him. So if you had to put him in as a replacement for Udeni, because to be honest, Udeni has uh,
Then he's
he's
old, man.
done,
No,
It's
he's
old,
old.
dog. The
yeah,
Pentium
He's
4, dog.
old.
yeah.
God, he's
Yeah,
It's
old.
like what more can he offer that's different from what he offered in 2000?
What has he
yeah,
offered? And I mean, we've got to just be honest. We won nothing as Bafana under Ding Jordan. So Denny Chief, we can have a different conversation. And X, look, I think X, you know how much I like Prarob. Prarob
yeah,
Madruputu. That guy's my guy, Chief, and
yeah,
I'll follow him everywhere he does, whatever he does. I follow that guy thoroughly, and because of exactly what you said, Sihle, the sports knowledge that he has. And it's not just the SJN inquiry that he triggered. When the Springboks started playing Abu Mapimpi, started playing Abu Lukanyo made Sia Kolisi captain, who was pushing the Springboks to start saying, why are you guys not playing our guys there from Eastern Cape? Who was
yeah.
pressing those buttons when they had the room dividers, Nabutando Manana and everybody else?
Yes,
They were driving the Saru up the wall. At some point, Figilim Balula wasn't talking to Brarob, and now they're good friends because
yeah,
of how Oprah Rob was triggering and pressing all these things. Brarob speaks about netball, chief. He knows what's happening in the netball world like there's no tomorrow. He knows what's happening in hockey. I wouldn't want to see him at Safa. I know he would change Safa. He would do
yeah,
well at Safa. But I want him at the highest level possible in relation to sports, which is the Minister of Sports.
yeah. I know, no doubt, no doubt, gents, no doubt, gents. Yo, man, guys. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much the episode because yeah, the aim was to keep it within 30 minutes. It's now 41 minutes, 42 minutes. It's an improvement. It's an improvement. Last time I think we shot for an hour. Yeah, did you want to
Yeah,
say something?
I just have a question. Where
Yeah,
would you guys like to see Pito in terms of South African football? I mean, at some point, Pito's going to come back from Egypt, maybe go to Qatar or whatever, and finish the money there and then come back. But where do we place Pito on all of this? Because,
mm,
I see Rue as our fundasa,
mm.
as that administrative leader that everybody respects. So at SAFA president, but where do we fit Pito? I mean, we can't forget about Pito when it comes to South African football.
This is my view. This is my view, and it's a very simplified view. I think Upito wants to have a couple of seasons in Europe just to prove himself as a manager with the best of the best. Because Europe, you can't mess with Europe. Um, I see him going overseas and doing probably like 2 3 seasons. Only when he comes back, I'd like him to be in an administrative position where he can then go right ahead and dictate the direction that the football is going to be taking for the next 5, if not 10 years, as in the type of football we're going to be playing, and in him dictating that, having a look from a very grassroots level to appointing whoever the manager is going to be at the time. That's
Yeah,
my view. I don't see him as heading up ISAFA or anything, but have a very, like literally a director of football for the country to say, gents,
yeah,
going forward as a country, this is the type of football that we enjoy playing or our players enjoy playing. So let's push this for the next 10 years. This is the start.
yeah.
That's my view.
No, no,
X,
bruh. I fully agree with Sihle. Like you literally taken the words out of my mouth. Because I know Vele, Pito has his own personal aspirations. He also wants to go to Europe, manage there at the highest leagues. And I think he is good enough to manage there. I mean, when you look at his CV, I mean his CV, Shaya only gonna so shy 10 nil. Like, you know what I mean? Like there really isn't. Yeah, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of like there's a lot of guys, like even about David Moyes of
Oh,
this
guys,
world,
can you
who
hear
have
me?
never, yeah, we can hear you
yeah.
loud and clear, bro. Like there's a lot of guys who are managing in the Premier League and they've never ever like sniffed silverware. And now Opito has won in SA in the continent and as well in Egypt, you know. And for me, I do echo Secret's sentiment in him going, of course, abroad. And once he's done, like now myself, I don't actually see him as an administrator per se, you know, and in those sort of roles, I see him as well as a person, especially from a grassroots standpoint, because I mean, it's important. It's high time that the boys that come up and represent Bafana, even from under 17 level, they understand what the first team style of football is, and
Yeah,
that's what made Belgium what they are today. Remember, Belgium were
yeah,
dead country for the longest
yeah,
time at
yeah,
football.
Mm,
yeah,
Then
I
all
mean,
of a
you look
sudden,
at you look at
dude,
Spain in the Olympics. You look at Spain in the Olympics, and this is
dude,
the under 23 side. The under
yeah,
23 sides
can
literally
you hear me?
play the
yeah,
same type of football
Yeah, so I
as
was just
the
gonna say, I
national
mean,
side.
now Pito,
yeah,
and it's exactly what you guys said. Pito, I rate
yeah,
him highly. I mean, he's got the experience of the culture and tradition of what's happening in Egyptian football now, and he always
yeah,
speaks about the one thing they got right is the development of the football at the grassroots level. And I
yeah,
think he's the main guy that can develop that. I mean, we've lost
hmm,
touch with our grassroots levels of football where where we used to have this Transnet School of Excellence, this, that's the other, where your Stephen Pinars come from, where your Keegan Dollies come from. And you can see the difference in the level of football played by the guys that came through those routes, where we develop guys from high school football, where,
yeah,
we need to change the culture of even these so-called Model C schools that prioritize rugby and not football, to have all holistic sports so that we can have the highly competitive high school football competitions. The guys in Soweto, I was 16V with Dr. Kumalo. They
yeah,
were found through school, through those school tournaments that used to happen when we were working there in childhood. You understand? So, um, Pito for me is exactly that. I personally, I want Pito to go to Europe, but I don't see that happening. Pito spoke about it himself. I mean, the guys that were performed in Europe as players who are managers, your Terry Henrys, your Patrick Vieira struggled to get a chance, all
yeah,
those guys who have all the right badges at the right level, the highest badges that you could possibly get in coaching football, they still prefer the German guys, the French guys, the highly pedigree, as they would refer to them as coaches. Who's going to take a risk with an African guy, Pito, in the EPL? Not even a Burnley would do that. So I see Pito going to Qatar just to secure his bag. Qatar, Dubai, there they'll take him definitely. And then coming back, and I hope that Safa does him right. I
yeah,
don't see
no,
him coming back as a coach. We'll struggle to afford him without a doubt. We will struggle to afford Pito if he comes down. But I hope the football fraternity that is Safa, the body that is Safa, does
yeah,
Pito right and gives him the right post. That our sports umbrella does us right. Our sports portfolio at the highest level does us right. Calls upon the guys with the brains, the Robert Marraus. Let's mix guys. I mean, the Roland
yeah,
Kumans of this world, the 16Vs, the Jimmy Tau, all those guys are pretty solid at what they do. And we can tell the Teko Modises of this world, a guy who knows and understands what he wants. I
yeah,
have a different type of respect for Teko after that interview. I've
yeah,
always thought, I love Teko. Personally, I've liked Teko since, and I was not a Pirates fan. Nah, Teko for me was the best guy, especially because his surname is my name. That's the only reason I wanted his Bafana jersey. Non-Pirates jersey. That's the only reason I wanted his
uh,
Bafana jersey. But
uh,
you and I've always wondered why this guy never played in Europe, because after the World Cup, there was him about the West Brom. There was even Man
yeah,
City. There was West Ham. I remember that, and they just mentioned that there's a couple of Spanish teams, and I
yeah.
think, ooh, Ivan Cosa, I am Duke, did him bad,
Yeah.
did him very
Ish,
very
man.
bad. He ate his
Yeah.
bag, Shane. Mm,
I know, big time. But you see, even like right now, when you see like articles like the Steven Pienaar, getting an opportunity, abroad to manage at Ajax. I mean, he did play for Ajax Amsterdam, and he's from the
mm,
School of Excellence, and Modise
mm,
did touch on
mm.
that. So for me, it's a great sign seeing that with Steven Pienaar also begin to, make their mark in European football as
Yeah,
managers.
but then But then
Yeah.
then the question is that are we going to have another
But do you
skinny
think they'll
winner
give him a
at
post
this rate?
beyond the under 17 or under 18 at Ajax? And that's another thing.
At this rate, we're not going to
Tough
have it.
because he's fighting with the Dutch guys in that pipeline as well.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's going to take forever for Europe to trust Africa, right? And to
Yeah.
bring on an African coach who can do it. I mean, you look at Benny. Benny's philosophy in football, Chief, is of the highest pedigree.
Yeah.
This guy has won the Champions League. He scored so many goals in all leagues that he played in, be it La Liga, be
Yeah.
it in the Dutch league, be it in the EPL. You look at Sean Butler, Chief. Hey, that guy scored a cracker there for Charlton.
Yeah.
Van Persie tried to mimic him, but I think Sean Butler did it better than him. So why are those guys not getting the chances that they should be in Europe when they played football at the highest level? They have the biggest respect from their clubs. Charlton should have given Upatlet a call and said, Chief, come be our striking coach. I guess these days the striking coach,
Yeah.
you can be any
The
coach.
set
You can be
piece
diving
coaches.
coach for the goalkeeper, whatever you want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. No, that's true, guys.
I think the
Yeah,
gents are
man.
struggling with connection, huh?
Yeah, it's a sign, guys. It's a sign that we we've pushed for this episode. Like,
Yes.
guys, I'd love for us to continue, but hey, man, like my aim is to also, try to, keep everything within, a certain time frame. But like, thank you so much for availing yourselves. Like, this was a very dope episode. Like, I enjoyed it, very informative.
Always. Yeah.
Guys, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is the Goalpost. Gents,
Boom.
Yes.
from Care.